Hey, good morning. How y'all doing? It is Redbeard. It is a damn fine day to talk about a book. It is Sunday, June 1st. And so we are here for my May of 2025 wrap up. I got through 15 books, which sounds like a lot, but it was kind of a slow month. I mean, you got to remember I do three or four of these in audio. And whatever. But it definitely like I definitely hit like a bit of a slump towards the end. But anyway, so I got through 15 some odd books. Now I'm going to show you everything I read in order of least enjoyed to most enjoyed, and most of these have reviews up. Actually, some of these do not. Like three or four of these do not yet. So I'm still gonna be messing with some of these books going into the month of June. But anyway, so the only book I gave 2 stars to was Gates of Fire by Stephen Pressfield. Look, I just didn't love this book. I got on the Stephen Pressfield train through Ryan Holiday. I've been reading some Ryan Holiday books, been watching some videos. Pressfield was in one of those videos. If you don't know who Ryan Holiday is, look him up. I mean, I've said this multiple times, but he's got a bookstore. He brings in authors and famous people, and they walk through the store talking about books, mostly nonfiction shit. So Pressfield writes stuff like this, like productivity type, self-growth type things, put your ass where your heart wants to be. I read one called Do the Work. There's another one on my TBR for next month called The War of Art. Yeah, not the Art of War, the War of Art. But he also writes this type stuff like historical novelizations. And this is Gates of Fire. It's about the Battle of Thermopylae 300. Ryan Holiday raved about this book. I think this is supposed to be the best of. He's got another one on the Peloponnesian War. He's got another one about Amazons. He's got a bunch of shit like that. But I just couldn't get into this. I mean, I thought I would be able to. I really liked the story of 300 and Leonidas and the movie and all those things. But I mean, and it was pretty good at the end when we actually got to the 300 part. But I don't know, it was just a lot of build up, a lot of story around it, and to be honest with you, I just had a hard time following it. I did it in audio. I just don't read a lot of war books or historical fiction type stuff. I mean, I guess I do, but not really surrounding like ancient war and whatnot. I don't know. I struggled with it, to be honest with you. This is Gates of Fire by Stephen Pressfield. I gave it 2 stars. I read Poetic Nightmares by Carrie E.B. Black. This is a very short poetry collection, very short poems within. I liked it. I gave it 3 stars. I read Lone Women by Victor Laval. This one is about an African American woman who leaves her home in a hurry because both of her parents are dead. She sets the house on fire and bails and goes and homesteads in Montana. And there's this cool aspect about lone women, about women surviving on their own. Yeah, so I dug this one, 3 stars. I read The Metamorphosis by Kafka. Pretty easy book to follow, easy to understand for a classic. It's 41 pages long. With a lot of extra criticism and shit, which I did not read. I just read the story. I haven't reviewed it yet. I actually just finished this yesterday, but 3 stars. I finally wrapped up A Dance with Dragons, Game of Thrones, book 5. I gave it, mid threes. It's all right. I hated book 4 so much that by the time I got to this one, I was just like, it was a chore. I mean, and I know we're not supposed to read that way, but I read that way sometimes. Sometimes I just want to finish something, so I can say I finished it, even though I have very few bookish friends and don't talk about the books I finished with people in my everyday life. But I bought the nice set. I wanted to have said I read it. I have. It's all right, but the fact is it leaves in such a shitty place with Jon Snow, with Daenerys, with all the characters that I mean, we know what happens because a show was made, right? But I don't know. This one is where it really kind of starts to branch off from the story of the show, and some of those storylines. I mean, just like Jon Snow's situation in general, you're kind of like, well, what the fuck was planned? Like, what was going to happen in George R. R. Martin's world? So I don't know, but I finished it three, mid threes, low to mid threes. Make Your Bed by Admiral William H. McRaven. I've been doing some of this self growth stuff. This was cool. I dug it. I really like Navy SEAL stuff. I don't know why. I didn't serve in the military. I don't really read a lot of military books, but for some reason, I like books about people that do really hard shit. I love mountain climbing stuff, and I've never climbed a mountain. So, same thing with Navy SEALs. So anyway, I enjoyed this, but kind of just cool stories about his life in war and the military in general, and just kind of turning them into like principles that we can use day to day. I enjoyed it. Billy Lynn's Long Halftime Walk. This is supposed to be like kind of the catch 22 of the Iraq War. I mean, it all takes place in a single day where Billy Lynn and his platoon mates, his whatever you call it, they're back in America on like this heroes tour, and they're spending like the entire day at like the Dallas Cowboys stadium for like a presentation, but they got to go back and for like 11 more months. And anyway, it's just kind of a really cool look at that time period, the Iraq War and all that. So I dug that one. I did a very not a very short. I just did a graphic novel. Most of them are short, but called Underground by Jeff Parker, Steve Lieber. Liked this one. It is a graphic novel about a cave system in Kentucky. I live in Kentucky, so I thought that was cool. It does a cool thing where, like, when you're out of the cave, everything's in color. When you're in the cave, it's kind of monochrome. But yeah, I dug this. We're getting a high 3.5 towards 4 books now. I did Ghost Eaters by Clay McLeod Chapman. In this one, our main character loses her reckless boyfriend to an overdose, and she's presented with this opportunity through a drug called Ghost that it's not do you want to get high, it's do you want to get haunted, to commune with the dead, and of course that just spirals and spirals. And this was a really cool marriage of horror with addiction, and I dug this one. I did The Adventures of Tom Sawyer. Again, I do audiobooks, and when I'm out of credits, my audiobook platforms have classics for free. So I'm redoing a classic or so once a month. I got a couple others here on the slate. This is kind of how I do. This is how I did Metamorphosis too. But anyway, this was a reread. But I dug it. Tom Sawyer or The Adventures of Tom Sawyer by Mark Twain. We're starting. That might have been a 4. Nah, that was a high 3. Now we're starting 4-star reads. I did a Graveside Gallery by Eric Gunyard. This is horror short stories. I really liked his work. This is my 3rd book of his that I think I've read. But one of them was called. What was it called? Something. I thought it was in the back. Oh, there it is. That Which Grows Wild. I really like That Which Grows Wild. I think I like that book a little bit more than this one. But anyway, really cool horror short fiction. I read Ego is the Enemy by Ryan Holiday. This is my 2nd read by him. Again, these books are really cool, especially if you're into philosophy or stoicism or just self-growth in general, because what it does is it takes all the great bits from ancient philosophy, brings them together along with modern stories of athletes and successful business people and finance people and all these things, and kind of uses all that to again give us ideas on how to be more productive, or how to maybe even live a better life. But I use a lot of this. I'm a high school football coach for one more year. I'll use a lot of this shit on my kids. I read The Vessel by Adam Neville. I've read 2 of his books before this one. I really like this. This is a great horror novella, and I think, I mean, maybe not why, but maybe part of why is that this was written to be a screenplay first and then turned into a novel. So it really reads like a movie. There's not a lot of build up or wasted time in this book. It's 150 pages of just, not to steal from Point Break, but 100% pure adrenaline, man. So I read the Pulitzer winning The Sympathizer by Viet Thanh Nguyen. Dug the hell out of this book. These Pulitzers have really been rewarding. Like I every time I'm getting ready to switch from like a horror book to a Pulitzer book, I'm a bit because I'm doing this as, I mean, it's kind of like working out, right? I mean, but they have all been like super. Like once I get into them, I'm like, why? Well, why was I holding off? A lot of them have been that way. Matter of fact, I just started a new one, and it's that book, All the Light We Cannot See by Anthony Doerr, and I'm 70 pages in. And I'm like, why was I holding off? I love this. But anyway, this was that way too. The Sympathizer by Viet Thanh Nguyen, and this is the Vietnamese American Pulitzer. It's about the end of Vietnam. America has pulled out. Our main character is a refugee. It comes to America. He is um, with, I might screw this up. I am going to screw it up. I want to say the North Vietnamese were the communists, the South Vietnamese were not. I may be wrong about that, but he's with the non-communist side, but he's also a spy for the communist side. And anyway, The Sympathizer by Viet Thanh Nguyen. And the only 5-star read that I did this month was The Creative Act, A Way of Being by Rick Rubin. I absolutely love this. I muck around with songwriting and poetry and things like that, kind of, or I used to in my younger life. And then I spent the last 20 years raising kids, and they're about grown, and I want to dig back into that. And this is really cool. It's a really great book about how to do it, how to start it, how to edit it, how to finish it, how to stay on task, how to shut up the voice in your head that says you're wasting your time, it's not worth it. I mean, it says that we're all put here to create. That is what we're here for, to write that graffiti, I was here. And maybe that's narcissistic, but anyway, I dug it. It's almost like it's given me permission. But this is The Creative Act, A Way of Being by Rick. Yeah, by Rick Rubin. I absolutely love that book. So that's it. That's my 15. Now I can take these and put them on my shelves, put them away, and that's it. I appreciate you being here. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you're enjoying all your books as much as I am. If not, you're reading the wrong damn books.